Welcome back to Oba's Trending Gist. Today, we are diving into a legal showdown that is gripping Nigeria. Former presidential candidate Peter Obi's defamation lawsuit against activist Deji Adeyanju. This case isn't just about two prominent figures. It has sparked a crucial national conversation about free speech, public accountability, and the rule of law in our increasingly digital age. Stay tuned as we break down the accusations, the legal arguments, and the wider implication of high-stakes battle. Let's watch the first report.
We'll take another story on the legal developments. Former presidential candidate Peter Obi has taken legal action against activist Deji Adeyanju following a series of public accusations. Peter Obi's lawyers, in a notice, demanded a retraction and an apology from Adeyanju for what Obi's lawyers call defamatory publications. It states that Adeyanju has repeatedly published false and malicious statements designed to injure Obi's reputation, both in Nigeria and abroad, including an accusation that Obi invested state funds into a family-owned company during his tenure as governor. The legal notice specifically cites a social media post from August 21st, 2025, in which Adeyanju allegedly claimed that Peter Obi could only be president of the obedience on social media and that his supporters represent political extremists. Well, in a defiant response on Facebook, Adeyanju publicly dismissed Peter Obi's legal threat as laughable, expressing his eagerness to confront him in court while reiterating his previous claims. A lawyer, he continues with the defamatory statements on his social media account. We know that the legal battle intensifies a long-standing public dispute between the two parties, which began when Adeyanju had previously sued one of Peter Obi's aides for alleged defamation against his wife. I'll take some tweets before I come to you, Ion. This is from Pato, who wrote on X: when you shift from insults and criticisms to making categorical allegations about someone offering you a bribe, it goes beyond mere critique and becomes a serious accusation. Deji is not just any random social media user. He boasts about his 25 years of activism and is now a lawyer. He should recognize the difference between hypothetical and categorical statements when making the former, especially regarding an allegation of bribery. One must be prepared to substantiate the claim. Furthermore, Deji personally requested this. He publicly expressed his desire for it. As a lawyer, he has the skills to officially write to the anti-corruption agencies with a comprehensive petition if he was convinced that any actions taken by Obi in office constituted an act of corruption. Yet, he didn't do that. Instead, he wakes up every day throwing around all manner of categorical statements about acts of corruption. Another Twitter user wrote, "This case will really test the line between free speech and protecting someone's name. If Obi feels his image has been damaged, the court is the right place to sort it out." At the same time, activists and politicians both need to be careful with their words, like I said earlier. The truth will show in court. I hope justice will be upheld.
I think that last statement, that last sentence is the most important, one of the most important things made in terms of, I hope that justice will be held. And we've talked about the justice system in Nigeria. Sometimes it's said to favor a particular class to the other. But I want to hope and I believe, because we must uphold our institutions, that's the only recourse we have. Dr. Abati had mentioned earlier on that you cannot resort to self-help. You have to approach the court. So we hope that the court will follow due process and really be the bastion of justice. But let me talk about this case. And I think it's important that Mr. Peter Obi has taken this step. I'm not the court. I cannot determine whether or not Mr. Adeyanju's statements was defamatory. He would have to prove himself or prove the accusations that he has made on his X account in court beyond reasonable doubt. But we have had so many instances where, whether it be activists or surrogates or people who have been paid by a political party or a person, a political figure, come out to make spurious statements online, defaming individuals or personalities. And usually people will just say, turn the other cheek, this is politics, you know how it is, anything happens, people can say what they like. But after a while, it is important to actually make an example of certain people when they make careless statements or put out careless thoughts like this out there. We might think it's an innocent, it's political jabs.
That initial report clearly lays out the core of the dispute. Peter Obi's lawyer are demanding a retraction and apology from Deji Adeyanju for alleged defamatory statements, specifically citing claims about Obi investing state fund into family company during his tenure as governor, and a recent social media post where Adeyanju allegedly characterized Obi's supporters as political extremists. Deji Adeyanju, however, publicly dismissed the legal threat as laughable. The panelist, Ayo, emphasized that this case will truly test the line between free speech and protecting an individual's reputation. She stressed the importance of approach the court system rather than resorting to self-help, believing that such cases provide an opportunity to uphold our institutions and for individuals to be cautious with their words. Sit back and take a watch.
But Mr. Deji Adeyanju is an influential figure, and there are many gullible people who would go online and read certain things and accept it as the word. It is important when you make statements like this to be able to back it up with proof and not just come out because you have a computer and you have access to the internet to make statements. It's not just Deji Adeyanju who does this. A number of people, faceless, just come out and make many kinds of statements. I believe that if indeed he's able to go to court and is unable to prove this statement, and he's made an example, perhaps he will teach a lesson to a lot of people who come out and just take on a figure and spew words, spew lies, talk about things, and expect that in the spirit of magnanimity, you would overlook it and just move on to the next. I hope to see the end of this case, and if found guilty, I hope Adeyanju faces the law. If he's not found guilty, then Mr. Peter Obi owes the people an explanation and an apology.
The truth about the thing with this Obi thing is, see, Ayo, with due respect, this one lawsuit will not change anything. You know what they always hide under? The fact that the procedure to prove a case of defamation is very long. And when you take somebody to court, the onus, pretty much will fall on you. So it's a very long-ended process, and they act on that to do it. But you see, I'm not surprised. You have a lot of government officials, people that have been paid with our taxpayers' money, also defaming people's spokesmen. Yeah. That's the society. But you see, the hypocrisy about all of this is the same government officials that are calling for the social media space to be sanitized. Yeah. They are the ones that are using it to defame people, which we have empirical proof.
Dr. Abati, there is a Cybercrime Act law that has just been passed recently.
In fact, that cybercrime rule, I know a government spokesman that has violated that. If I'm to activate the cybercrime rule today, the cybercrime law, but nothing will be done. So what I've come to listen to them is see. So what I've come to say, if I can advise you, Mr. Peter Obi, with due respect, withdraw that case from court. Do not give anybody any chance to look very influential more than they are, because it's a waste of your time. Don't glorify them. Wait, Ayo. As of today, Deji Adeyanju is on channel. He went on channels to talk about that in this morning. So don't glorify these people. Just ignore. It's public space. They will say things against you. If you can't stand it, you don't get education. Mr. Peter Obi, why withdraw that case? They will say things against you. You just let it go.
All right. That's your thoughts.
The principles must be properly stated. Section 39 of the 1999 Constitution guarantees the freedom of expression. But under our jurisprudence, it must be recognized that no right is absolute under the Constitution. The fact that you have the right to express yourself does not give you the right to defame people, because the other citizen has the right to the dignity of the human person under Section 33 of the same, Section 34 of the same Constitution. So he who alleges
must prove.
Must prove.
All right.
That's the basic principle. And Mr. Peter Obi going into politics does not mean that he has surrendered his right to the dignity of the human person. He has every right to go to court to challenge anybody who defames him. It's for that person to prove. The fact that you are a lawyer or that you are an activist does not grant you immunity.
This is it.
Section 308 of the 1999 Constitution is very specific about the persons who are entitled to immunity. Okay. And the Cybercrime Act that you refer to is controversial. They say police abuse it and all of that. But Section 14 of it is also clear. You cannot use electronic devices to defame people by hiding under anonymity. I think that we have to test our laws.
This is it.
With regard to defamation and to other laws, so that people do not think that they have absolute rights. Okay. Nobody has absolute rights.
All right.
The only defense that is available to you is justification, which is truth. The only defense also is absence of malice.
All right.
So we have to keep testing these laws.
I love that.
So that people don't just go on social media and talk about people, or they just carry microphone and they talk about people.
We don't need an example.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
With the things they've said about you, how many have you tested?
Well, no, that's why he's saying that.
Please, let me ask him a question.
We're not.
How many have you tested?
No.
And why have you not tested it?
We are not personalizing it.
Yes.
This is a basic principle of law.
Dr. Abati,
no,
Peter Obi should remove the case.
No.
Well, that's your opinion.
It is up to the person that has been defamed to say. It's not there's no compulsion in the Nigerian constitution or any of our statutes. It's for you to decide that, okay, I want to fight this matter, and you pursue it.
Well said.
To say somebody should not defend his right, no, we shouldn't go that way. So it's about principle.
Great. I like that point as well.
As the discussion continues, Ayo reiterated hope for justice, emphasizing the importance of holding individuals accountable, especially influential figures like Deji Adeyanju, who can sway public opinions. She firmly stated that when making categorical allegations, one must be prepared to back them up with proof. However, Rufai offered a contrasting view, suggesting that the lawsuit might be a waste of time, advising Peter Obi to withdraw the case and simply ignore such statements, implying that the lengthy process of proving defamation makes it empirical. Dr. Abati then weighed in with a crucial legal perspective. He clarified that while Section 39 of the 1999 Constitution guarantees freedom of expression, this right is not absolute. It does not grant anybody or anyone the liberty to defame others, as every citizen is also entitled to the dignity of their human person under Section 34. He strongly asserted the legal principle, he who alleges must prove. Dr. Abati also highlighted the Cybercrime Act, specifically Section 14, which prohibits the use of electronic devices to defame people under anonymity. He stressed the importance of testing our laws in these situations to prevent individuals from making unfounded statements on social media, emphasizing that being an activist or a lawyer does not grant immunity from accountability. This lawsuit is a pivotal moment for Nigerians' public discourse, especially in context of our evolving digital landscape. The core disagreement between the panelists whether to challenge defamatory statements in court or simply ignore them reflects a wider societal debate. Rufai's advice to ignore such statements, while seemingly pragmatic, risks normalizing reckless and unsubstantiated allegations. As Ayo pointed out, influential figures like Adeyanju have a significant platform, and their unproven claims can damage reputations and mislead the public. Ignoring this can foster a culture where individuals feel they can say anything online without consequence, eroding public trust and equality of political debates. Dr. Abati's legal articulation is essential. He correctly highlights that freedom of expression is not a license for defamation. The Constitution protects free speech but also safeguards individuals' dignity. This case provides a critical opportunity for the Nigerian judiciary to clarify the boundaries, particularly regarding the Cybercrime Act, by rigorously applying the principles that he who alleges must prove. The court can send a strong message that online assertions, especially those impacting public figures, must be based on verifiable facts. This isn't about stifling criticism or dissent. It's about fostering a more responsible and accountable public sphere, where discussions are grounded in truth rather than malicious falsehood. Testing these laws is vital for strengthening our democratic institutions and ensuring that justice is truly upheld. That wraps up our discussion on Peter Obi's defamation suit against Deji Adeyanju. This case truly highlights the complexity of navigating free speech and personal reputation in our modern political landscape. The outcome will undoubtedly have significant implications for how public discourse is conducted in Nigeria. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to Oba's Trending Gist for more insightful analysis Until next time, stay informed and stay sharp.